About a live check, vibe check. Live check, vibe check. Hello, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to the studio. We're gonna jump in here and talk about some stuff because I just heard through my eyes, through my shill-free eyes and internet, that we got the price leak for the new Circus Voltaire pinball machine that we've gravely been waiting for since announced at, what was it, TPF, when they were giving away Houdini's. American Pinball was there. Fizzy's in the chat. What's up? What's up? It's Sunday. It's Dawn Day. We're in the studio. We're going to hang out. So I saw this. And, you know, if you get a Circus Voltaire, you're going to want the top end edition. Who wants the cheap one? I guess if you're going to throw it on location or something. But, dude, for something like this is special. This is Circus Voltaire. This is one of, like, those remakes we've been asking for, like Totan. But we didn't want Totan made by Pedretti. We wanted it made by CGC, but they take forever. And then here's American Pinball, our friends down there in East Palestine, Ohio, across from the Amazon warehouse, down the street from Chunky Dunker Donuts. These are our guys. Brand new company, right? Like, shake off that dust. Shake off the barbecue seasoning from American. They're like, you know what? We're going to grab, we got Melvin. We got Lior. We've got access to Stumbler probably. Like, these guys can execute awesome looking machines. Look at Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, right? Phenomenal looking machine. Absolutely gorgeous. I wanted to make out with it. What I didn't want to do was make out of the room with the game because I didn't appreciate that gameplay just wasn't there. But Circus Voltaire, it's got the gameplay. Now, the price came down to us all. Thundering Crash, $12,600 to get you the game, get you the topper, all the accoutrements, all the lights, inside, outside, Lior sculpts, all that business. All right? And I was like, dude, that's like the most expensive remake ever, right? Because I think it just outpaced Medieval Madness, was $12,000 for the Wizards Potion Edition. I think, you know, like I'm not the arbiter of all news and everything, but that's what I remember. So, like, dude, I was like, wow, this is like the most expensive top level remake. And then I did a quick reality check, right? Now, this is what everybody should go do. Go over to Pinside and find out for a 1997 restored, like the nicest one that's on Pinside. Look what that one just sold for. And it was like 11,000, 11,500, somewhere in there. And that's a game from 97. I'm from 97. I'm from before 97, but you know, like that's an old game that, you know, maybe escaped being routed to death and beaten to dirt and was restored and had a lot of work put into it for 11. So for like 1,000, 1,600 more than that, you get like a topper that the game never came with. You get Lior sculpts the games never came with, right? So like if you want a good edition of this game, 12.6, that kind of sounds reasonable, especially if you adjust for inflation, like I've been saying you should be doing. And we will find out that like the price of the Stern Premiums has been pegged at the same value with inflation, like this whole time, despite the price increases and everything. So before everybody freaks out at me, like, Don, what are you doing to us? You're burying us here. Like, I think it's a good price. But like, that was like the initial first thought in my head was like, dang, that's expensive. And then I looked at what was in it. Now, you know, if you, what's up, Kaz? How you doing? This is what I'm saying. $12K for user new and box price isn't outrageous. Yeah, exactly. Because you're not buying somebody's routed, been in a basement, $9,600 Circus Voltaire. And this is a game that's been, you know, if you want to find one in good condition, it's been commanding higher prices like Totan has, like Twilight Zone and, Addams Family, right? Addams Family can't be remade. Raul Julia's family won't sign off on it. Yeah, they made 26,000 games, but 25,000 of them are in dumpsters now because they were played to death at movie theaters and basements and bars and whatever. So like to find an Addams Family that was kept in good condition now is going to be high price. And I think CV is the same way. Now, you had that innovative screen that was in there. I love screens in the back plate of playfields. I think it extends the visual aspect and the theming elements that you can get. Circus Voltaire was one of the first games to have that, and it was a dot matrix screen, later on colorized. I don't think it was always colorized, but now you're going to get an actual LCD screen. I haven't seen anything. No one sent me nothing. No one's sending me a free game. Like, I'm right here. I'll give you my address. But no one's trying to send me a free game to get me to shill on this thing. I haven't been invited down to American Pinball. None of that business. So this is all based on just my own conjecture and looking at the photos that they've released so far. So it looks good. Like, everything I've seen with Circus Voltaire looks amazing with this remake, reimagine, remaster, reboot, rehash, retread, whatever you want to call it. It's the game made new. So 12,000, not unreasonable, and there's a sub $10,000 version if you want to throw one out there. So if you were already in the market for CV, man, I think AP's got you covered. How about that? How about don't be mad at me? Don't be mad at me. All right, what's Ozzy say? Not in dots, but full 3D on an HD screen. Yeah, dude. More on that in upcoming week. Ozzy's got secret info. What's Ozzy telling me? The extended version has some new multi-balls and even new target bear shot. All animations are fully redone. I love that, man. I love it. So somebody got to Ozzy. That's fine. That's fine. What does it matter? Aren't you a spooky boy? Dude, I got the sign right here, man. Dude, this is not a graphic. This is like a 3-dimensional sign. My buddy Ryan Davies down in Florida, bless his heart, made these for me, right? He makes hype chains for all like the little teenage softball leagues and everything in Florida. And he's like, dude, I like pinball. Spooky's got a cool logo. Let me take a crack at it. And I'm like, yeah, dude, go ahead. And then we came up with like, let's make a spooky shill one just for fun. And then I printed one, the biggest size I could do on my printer. And this boy is beefy. And then, I was like, hey, look at what I made, right? And people are like, where can I get one? And then all of a sudden it's like, I got 5 emails at once, like, send me one, need it for the game room. So they're here. I was only charging like $30 for them, but they take a full day to make. They're a pain in the ass to ship. So I think 40 with shipping is reasonable, but don't buy them if I'm not gonna shill these things, right? And yeah, like I've got an it's complicated relationship with Spooky. I'm not a paid employee. I'm still just like the same 6 watermelon eating guy I always was. I just lived down the street from a pinball factory, and they gave me the keys. So I don't know the keys or nothing, but having fun over there. I've been at Spooky all week working on projects. Like, it's completely amazing that I'm allowed in the building, let alone like, here, what can you do with this? And I'm like, dude, I just want to make cool pinball for everybody. And like, that's what we're doing. We're making cool pinball for people. And if I got a good idea that'll help something out, mazel tov. We all know they got a game in the cooker, right? Their launch window is nigh upon us. I can see the veil starting to shift, but we're not quite there yet. I don't want to start the hype train. We're on the hype train. I don't want to start the spooky hype train on a new game just yet, man, because we don't want it to peak and then like fall off and then like, oh yeah, like I thought this game came out weeks ago. This is the week for Circus Voltaire. And so I want to celebrate that. I want to play the game. Maybe if they have one on location in Chicago, publicly post that, I'll show up and go play it because I want to check this thing out. I want to see what all's in there. It's going to be a flurry of excitement right there. So this company, right? Like rising like the Phoenix, right? Well, not even the Phoenix. Like, these guys weren't the guys that were knocked down, right? There's only like one dude left over from the original regime. And it was like one of the best dudes, right? So now like they're reformed. They got some Houdinis out. They got some Galactic Tank Forces out. And then this is like their first project. Like, we got Bally licenses, man. Let's do it. They're going to make a statement with this game. And I think once we see the reveal, which I guess is on Wednesday, just coincidentally my first day of class, it'll be on Wednesday, so we'll get to see this thing. And I'm expecting to see Lior sculpts dripping with this thing, the lights and everything. I like that they didn't drop any other teaser images. I don't like the idea of like, we're gonna drip feed you these without disclosing like when you're gonna see it all. I get what they're doing. They want people to know, like, hey, before you secure that deposit with Fallout, which is coming next week, apparently. Just know we have this out here too. So like, you might want to get this. This is going to be more limited. They're doing an arcade version, or I don't know what they're going to call it. It's $9,900 or whatever. I would say just do the 780. Just make the best version of the game you can make. Make it. Once they're gone, they're gone. They'll command super high prices. Everybody that manages to get one will be incredibly happy with it. Like, that's how I would have went, but it's not my business, right? So I'm just a casual observer. Right, I'm getting text messages blowing up. I hope American Pinball's not unhappy with me. I managed to get the old American Pinball mad at me, and then I'd hate to like the new American Pinball's been around for 3 months, and like they're mad at me now. I'm just trolling, posting and stuff, dude. All right, so if you're texting me telling me I'm wrong with the price, listen, I get it. I think it's a fine price for that game. Yeah, because and that's based on what they're selling for. you know, if they're totally restored. So yeah, and this one's already got all the mods in it, right? It's gonna have all the Leor stuff in it. Melvin's doing his little technical directing thing. I think he did a great job turning a foam core game into a masterpiece looking game. Just wasn't a masterpiece playing game. So I think if you could take his eye for flair and marry it with something that actually has a good layout already, and then, you know, improve some code, throw some multi-balls in there, I think you'll have some. I think, what are we talking about? Albert's here. I mean, the new American Pinball doesn't seem improved for sure. Dude, yeah, we haven't seen anything from him. Dude. Emails and addresses. Okay, I posted this morning. If you guys want to order something and you want to go through like text messages or something, send me an email, please. Send me an email, because it's so much easier for me to search email than to go through all my message servers trying to find out, like, where did that guy from Poughkeepsie message me from? Was it on my normal account? Was it on my Don's Coaster account? Was it on the Pinball Podcast account? Was it on the Flight account? Like what other hobbies did the guy come through in? Or, you know, was it Snapchat or was it whatever, right? And then you got to give me an address. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to email me what you want and what your address is. I'll get back to you with when to expect it. And then I'll send you a link to either PayPal or Venmo to send money. Venmo gives me money without taking any fees, which is great. PayPal, I do so much volume now, they're taking like 10 to 15% off the top. Like, that's what the heck, PayPal, man. PayPal, more like pay not pal. That was very good. Jason says, if you're going to get one, it's the Ringmaster Edition as the standard one with no topper, which I believe is 15 to 1600. New modes, new multi-balls, deeper code. Okay, people are giving me the information now. The Ringmaster is redesigned better than the original. I love it. So probably the mechanism that lifted it and dropped it has probably been changed. So hopefully that's on like a stepper motor or something and go up, or it's a stepper with a screw. That's how I would do it. I think I'd put a threaded bolt straight down, throw a stepper motor on there with a screw drive, and just have that thing screw up and down with a couple of cams, you know, for guidance or whatever. That seems to be the simplest way to do it. Am I the only one with a Pinball Adventures shill sign? Dude, let's make that, man. Elements. Remember Pinball Adventures? This was Andrew's project out in Calgary. No, he wasn't in Calgary. Where was he at? Victoria, British Columbia, somewhere out there. He brought us Punny Factory, and somebody said, like, it was making fun of pinball newbies, and we were trying to decide, like, okay, then what is the cutoff? Like, how long do you have to be in the hobby before you're not being gatekeeped by these people? And I was like, okay, if you know about Punny Factory at this point, I think that says you've been in long enough, right? I was the first person to stream Punny Factory from a public location, so that was fun. But, you know, say what you want. Andrew had a plan. He was going to make Punny Factory. He was going to release it, $6,500, 10 engraved editions, and he did it. He fulfilled all of his orders, didn't steal anybody's money, didn't scam anybody. And then he's got like 17 other businesses, so he just hasn't gotten back to it. He made a workable Elements. I did not enjoy the layout, but then I never saw what the final thing was. His cabinet design was great. He had some cool ideas. So, like, I can't be mad at Pinball Adventures, man. They came out with a product. Yeah, some will say of dubious theme, but, like, it played okay, right? I think Mad Pinball actually made money buying it based on just touring it around everywhere and people coming out to play it. So yeah, I think that's a success, man. More fun to make when you guess where to ship. No, I'll just randomly pick people. Listen, you don't even have to give me your address. Give me your ex-girlfriend's address. I'll mail her stuff. I don't care. 12.6 Voltaire Ringmaster. Let's go. All right. Who's in on it? Who's excited about it? Who's got like infinite room in their budget and their space for like yet another game? I'm full, man. And like, I was full before. I am like full, like to the point that I was like, should I sell Yukon Yeti right now? Cause I need more space, man. I need more space. I don't know space for all this stuff. It's going to be much Avengers new 50% tariff. Right. So I was read the media release by someone that had it sent to them. In Australia, we're looking at, oh, this is an Australian funny money, 20,990. Yeah, but that's like, you got to subtract like 40% to get like, US Eagle dollars. For the Ringmaster Edition, $69 for the standard. Last I heard, I was at Lodi at Golden State. No, not Golden State. What's it called? The Lodi Funtown pinball celebration, or whatever they call it. It's a hootenanny, man. It's a drug fueled contest in the parking lot is what that show is. But there was a banner from one of the local distributors saying there was going to be 760 or 768 Ringmaster editions of CV, and that's like the only thing I've seen of it. So they're probably sticking to that number. I wish I had no vacancy, but I want. Oh, right. Yeah. Like, come on. I'm sure the game's going to be cool. Per Melvin. All right. Silvergun 360 is talking, so let's all take a moment. Per Melvin, the complete game is overhauled. You can play the original game code or the new extended version. I love that. I love that because if I just want to go in and play OG Circus Voltaire, I want to be able to do that. The extended version has new multi-balls and a new target bear shot. Okay. I'm not going to pretend I know what that target bear shot means. You mean like a physical mechanism? Is it something on the screen, like a video mode? I'm full with 2 on order, 3 if I make the Goonies cut. Dude, make the cut, man. No dots, but 3D animations redone. So I like that. Now we saw that with the Walking Dead Remastered. By the way, an LE Walking Dead Remastered, new in box, $13,000 game, 9.6 right now on Pinside. The same guy that's selling an $11,000 new in box Transformers Limited Edition on Pinside right now says he's got to get rid of these new in box games that he's got. He sounds like a dealer trying to clear inventory, but whatever. 11 for Transformers LE, 9.6 for the Walking Dead LE. Damn. And the Walking Dead LE would have been such a bigger hit if they would have gotten the actual film scenes from the show and put them in there. But probably because of licensing or whatever, they just kind of redid the dot matrix graphics, which, so hopefully CV looks better than that. I've got 1 space left saying it for Goonies. Save yourself a wide body space. Our OG CV is always a hit at our parties. Yeah, I mean, the game's fine. When I played the virtual pinball game on PlayStation like 5-6 years ago, and I was like just like getting reacquainted with pinball, like Circus Voltaire would always come up and go right into that music, and I'm like, oh, skip it, man. I've heard it so many times. I played Totan so many times because that was a free pack-in game. But I got to enjoy Circus Voltaire playing it virtually. You know, got to learn the rules and things and like how to fight the Ringmaster. I got good at the virtual version. And then when I went and played on location, it just handed me my own ass, right? Because that's what they do. But I think it's a fine game. You know, I play it occasionally if I see it. It's not my favorite. So like I'm not going to try to make space behind me here for it or anything, but like I'm not mad at the price that they're offering it or that there's only 760. I would have preferred, and maybe they don't care what I think because I'm not buying one, but I would have preferred if there wasn't a cheaper edition and it was only a good one and there was only 7 something and like that's it. Or like do what CGC does and say, well, we're not limiting them, but we're going to build these 700 and who knows how many years it might be till we revisit it. I think that would be a way to go. And I think because you're licensing like an old Bally license that's not doing anything anyway, you could probably go back to that well whenever you wanted. You know, or I would sign up for the typical 3-year licensing period. I would do a run now and then see about doing another run in 3 years if there's demand. And then that way, although the games aren't completely limited, you're not stopping yourself from being able to make more if there is demand, but you're also letting those prices come up on the secondary market because you don't know when the next one's going to be made, right? We saw that with the Wizard editions of Merlin's whatever Medieval Madness, right? Because they came out. And they're like, we're doing 1,000, and then we're gone. And then it was like years until they did another redo of them. So we saw prices stay high because of that. I think that's how I would go. Again, it's not my company. I haven't built a company. I haven't built an LED company or anything, so they know what they're doing. Stern needs to pull their fingers out and make a banger for last few titles. So if we could transition to Stern Pinball for a second. Stern Pinball still in business, still hiring people. We don't know what their projections are. We don't know what their income is. We know as, you know, hyper fans from the outside, the enthusiast crowd, like what we want to see and what's not in there. You know, I play Transformers and I'm like, there's nothing going on in the back left corner. Like, come on. And like, where's, you know, the flow that should be here? But they may have come out and said, you know, Q1, we want to sell this many Transformers to distributors. Q2, we want to see the reorders come in. And, you know, if they're hitting their marks and they're on track with their projections, then what reason do they have to change course? And that may be why we haven't seen them just throw Unlimited Bond in, why we haven't seen them go hire Melvin Williams to come decorate their games, why they're not contracting out to Lior for sculpts, you know, why they're still doing things the way that they're doing them, because they're probably meeting projections, right? That's why I got to surmise from that. You know, I have no insight into Stern's operations or their budgeting and analysis or whatever. But like, they're a smart enough company. They've been around for long enough in manufacturing to know, like, if something's not working, you pivot, right? And so I have to take that to mean like, yeah, everything's doing fine. Like, even the man, Kaneda, is still waiting on his Pokemon topper, okay, for the lackluster Pokemon game. So that means that the game sold well enough that they're sold out of the toppers and like trying to order another runs of them to make. So that sounds like they're probably successful and hitting their marks. Am I wrong? Am I off base on this? Alex says that the upper left of Transformers bugs the crap out of me. So we went to Kickback yesterday in Madison. Monica hadn't played Sonic, and she'd only played a Transformers Pro. Come on, Interium, what are you doing? So we went there, had a great time. They had a drag show going on with like a drag show slash transgender, gender fluid swap meet going on. So like it was a cool vibe in there. So I'm vibing, I'm playing some pinball. I'm watching dancers do their thing. Like it was like a Ole and Madison kind of thing. It was great. But we played Sonic and we played Transformers. Now, it was Monica's first time playing Sonic, so like I had to explain, upper play field, you go here, it's pretty high in the flip or whatever. And then I jumped on and like had my best game of Sonic ever. Got my name up in the leaderboard there. 1.6 million or something. No, 160 something million, 180 somewhere in there. But like I did all the things, right? Like I beat Robotnik twice. I cleared 2.5 stages, almost got the third. Like I was just like going, right? I got an extra ball. I did the multi-balls, like we were showing all the things. And then we went to Transformers and she came away like, yeah, Transformers was definitely better, but she also told me like, we do not need either one of these games. Dude, did my print just finish up? Maybe it's just switching filament. I'm making these as fast as I can because, like, I'm back ordered. You think Pokemon toppers are hard to get? Try to get a Spooky Shield wall sign. They're freaking in production right now, and I'm shipping them as quick as I can make them. I hardly even advertised them. I did, I don't know, like $40. I'll send it to your house, dude. If you're cool and send me a t-shirt size, I'll probably send you a shirt too. I do have a new shirt graphic on its way. This is going to be awesome. Based on some rumored games that are supposed to be coming out. I should show you guys here in a little bit. If we're cool, we'll do that. BJ has the couch upper left. Yup, that's right. Still waiting on proper code for Pokemon. Get used to it because based on what I've seen from, let's see, John Wick and X-Men, I'm kind of thinking we're probably never going to see much more code than what we have with Pokemon. Hope I'm wrong, but I think unless it's an Elwyn, they don't seem to do it. Jaws is completely code complete, just fantastic. Can we just have Jaws be the high water mark of where we want to see code at? I want to see those video modes, those 8-bit modes, like clips from the movie, call outs from the actors, like it all just came together. There's games with better layouts than Jaws. The wave ramp, you have to hit it, pretty technically accurate to get up to the upper play field, but like that whole game is like a 9.2, man. It's just hitting on this every cylinder. If that could be the benchmark, especially because like the price is the same for every game. Like, how do you go from Jaws, to like, Pokemon, Transformers? Like, yeah, I do. I'm holding out hope for the code with Transformers does get fully fleshed out, but you're always going to have the problem with that back left of the game. What else we got? Albert, I'm glad you're hanging out, man. If I fall in love with Goonies, I may become a Spooky Show for the first time. Brother, if you do, I've got these in multiple sizes, man. Just send me an email. I'll send you some stuff, dude, for your walls. I'm making these as fast as I can. I had no idea they'd be as popular as they are. I got my, so I'm making the spooky ones. I'm not making Stearns or JJP, because I don't have a license to sell their image or anything, but Spooky gave me permission for this. So that's what we're going to make, man. And like, I don't even think I'm clearing a profit on these. I'm just doing it for fun. 9.75 minute. Come on, Don. What? 9.75 a minute. Godzilla's the benchmark. So we had a discussion around the office the other day of like, is Godzilla really a great game? And I'm like, well, of course it is. It's in the Pinside top 10. It's always like #1. It keeps popping up. They sold a ton of them. But they're like, yeah, but break it down. Like, is the art the greatest we've seen in pinball? No, of course not. Not with Watermelon Godzilla right there. Are the assets the best we've seen in pinball? No, not really. I don't think we got a whole lot of, like great deep assets. It's not like Jaws where like everything is in there. you know? So like, you know, the assets are good enough. I like the announcers and the call outs, right? But, you know, layout, it's, you know, kind of Elwin's got that, you know, repeatable upper loop. You know, it's got a brick shot against the Newton ball into the bridge. You know, for me, Godzilla comes together because of the collapsing building with the balls locking on top. It functions as a zone diverter. You know, you have the bridge mechanism that wrecks, and there's like a bridge multi-ball, and there's a magnet in there that can throw the ball around. You know, you've got 3 spinners in the game. Can we normalize more than 1 spinner per game? How did Venom get out without even 1 spinner? Can we put some spinners in the game? They're not expensive. They're fun. You code them in. They make noise. They have kinetic satisfaction. Can we please do like a minimum of at least 2 spinners per game? Oh, I'll die on this. And then I'm like, well, it's like the gameplay modes. You know, you're playing Godzilla, and like at any point, you know, you're gathering tanks towards the tank multi-ball battles. You're doing the kaiju battles is like the main thing of the game. You know, you're switching cities. You know, there's like other later, you know, like monster modes and things that come in. There's Planet X you're trying to get to. Like the modes were great. They're like, well, break it down. What makes the mode great? You know, Gigan, you hit 8 ramps. Like that's a mode. Here's the mode. Hit 8 ramps. You know, and I'm like, oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. It's satisfying for me, but I see what you're saying. And then Ebera, and they're like, well, what's Ebera? Well, I'm like, well, you hit the 3 spinners, then you hit the pop bumper. And I'm like, that's a mode? Just, you know, these are people that are like, you know, like critical thinking, like board game player, you know, deep rules kind of code mode people, right? And I'm like, well, you know, but like, I love Godzilla. It's fun to play. I love hitting the shots. It's got the right mix of it challenge and not challenge. You get better at it as you do it. You know, but like objectively, if you were an alien that came down, right, and you had to ask me what makes Godzilla better than Avengers Infinity Quest, I'm not sure I have anything objective I can tell you, because the layout of AIQ is as good as Godzilla. It doesn't have a diverting ball tower. I mean, that was awesome, but it's got the cool Avengers tower with the magnet that locks your ball there, and he drops the upper flipper with the Hawkeye shot. You know, it's got fun ramp things that go on. You know, it's got that anti-gravity half pipe ramp for the Captain Marvel shot or where the hell it is. The code's kind of all over the place. You know, I don't know what that whole matrix is. I think Ray Day understands it. I don't. They've explained it to me. I still don't get it. You know, but like why is AIQ not number 1? You know, but Godzilla is. It's not the art. The art's kind of trash on both of them, right? Nothing really stands out. It's not the animation. So like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Beetlejuice Gravedigger mode, shoot 3 scoops. Stop it. Stop it. Less scoops, more spinner and orbits. Yeah, I think your game needs to flow. Throw some spinners in, man. You know, and if it just spins and makes noise, like Pulp Fiction's got 2, perfect. If I rip an orbit during that mode when the spinners are activated and the shaker motor's going off and the clean the car mode, dude, if you have a Pulp Fiction, invest in that shaker motor, because clean the car mode, ripping spinners, the best moment in the game. Also, the score is incredibly unbalanced. So like you'll roll the score if you can get that mode and just like do a couple of good orbit shots, man. It's amazing. Godzilla is far more intuitive code than AIQ. I agree with Albert, my homie over here. Absolutely. But like explaining to an alien that, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Assets, about assets, case, art, animation, sound. All right. Let me get caught up on, let's see. Jaws is better than Godzilla, and Kong has better flow than the both. I agree. I love Jaws so much. Now, my Jaws, I put in that interactive mods. What was that guy's name? He was in Kamloops, Canada, Alberta, I think. He doesn't make mods anymore, but he made like the gun shooter rod for John Wick, which I had made one too. I never sold it because I couldn't quite get it dialed in to be consistent enough, but it was kind of cool. Like where you rack the hammer back and or the slide, the action, and then it would shoot the ball. It was super cool. But he made the Jaws ball eating mod where Jaws would pop up. You could hit him in the mouth. It would drop down. He 3D printed a subway for the ball to go into, and then would go into a vertical up kicker that would kick back up into like the wave ramp or something. It was super cool. It would like feed the wire for him. It was great, man. It was great. I loved that. I loved it so much. And it added so much to the game. So like my Jaws with that mod in it, fantastic. It's over in the Pacific Northwest right now. And my buddy's out there routing it, and it's a consistent earner. I think he's made money on it. I made money on it. We all had fun with it. Super cool, man. Super cool. Oh, Pinball Studio's here. What's up, dude? What's up, Sterling? Assets. I'm losing my voice here, man. I'm so fired up. Is there a harder spinner to hit than the lower spinner on Iron Maiden? Yeah, the lower spinner on Godzilla is also quite difficult. But it was so satisfying when you did dial that one in. Like the spinners were easy, medium, and hard, and I loved that there was that much in there. I like the through the popper shot, through the pop shots on Iron Maiden. Like when you would thread that needle through there, that would feel so good. I love it anytime I can thread the needle through some pop bumpers. Super fun. Now Beetlejuice lets you do that, but it's got training wheels because you can just hug the ball guide up through the spinner there. Good location for a spinner. And, you know, Beetlejuice, while, you know, it's not the best layout Spooky has done, the theme integration and just the gameplay and joy of that makes up for it. It's some of the best that Spooky's done. So, like, you know, that's the balance, right? Not every game has to have, like, the greatest layout if it can be made up with some of its other parts. But I can say, like, the next one is hitting on layout, on theme integration, sculpts. It's all there, dude. It's all that, like, anything you'd want is in there. It's fucking great. Spooky best code is Evil Dead. Yep. For now. Yeah. But I think this is fun because between Beetlejuice and Evil Dead, I think there's people that would say, you know, Evil Dead's their favorite, and there's people that would say, oh, Beetlejuice is their favorite. And, like, you're both right. Whatever you feel like you're right. And I think it's because they're both quality games. The third one may dethrone Evil Dead. I know it has for me, for sure. It just, everything, as much as I love Evil Dead, everything is just a little bit better. You can't replace personal callouts from Bruce Campbell, man. It's like the last time he's doing Ash officially. He retired that character, and so they managed to get it. Have you heard there's another Beetlejuice update coming soon? I don't know if soon, but the guys are constantly working on stuff, and there's multiple games in development right now that are all getting code and modes and things. So it's just so fun to watch this process, like watch everything come together. You know what I mean? Like imagine, you know, it's fun to get in the ground floor and like a new inbox Stern when like the code is so basic. And then as you own it, hopefully the code updates come and it keeps getting better and better. Like imagine starting at like Whitewood and like watching things come together. And there's so much in a game that comes together in that last 20%, you know, like you could have most of the code in there and the sounds and the layout and everything, but like until it gets the art and like the cabinet art and the backglass comes in, you know, and then the final sculpts come in, you can take out the 3D prints, you can take out the resin sculpts and put in like the actual ones. You're like, and like the final powder coat comes back from the wire forms and you're like, this is magical. You know, it all came together here at the end. And like, that's rewarding. So can't wait to share that with everybody. Being as husky as you are. Oh, stop. Do you think it's a correct shirt? Yeah, dude, for sure, man. We worked out today, man. The guns are coming back. Sun's out, guns out. Have you heard if there's another Beetlejuice update coming soon? Have not yet, but I'll inquire. I'm concerned on call outs to Spooky's next game, like BJ missing Keaton. Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna have to worry about that. Yeah, don't worry about the call out situation. Call out situation's solid. I'm dialing in the live stream experience. Well, perfect. I hope the audio is okay. I hope the video is okay. This is still kind of a temporary backdrop while I'm trying to cook together a final design that we'll do. I need some better lighting, of course. Makes it hard to wear a hat. Also, the angle's a little weird. With as husky as you are, dude. I'm less husky than was. Uh-oh, we got an error on the 3D print. Let me go fix something. I don't want somebody's spooky shill sign going crazy. Talk amongst yourselves. What happened? Oh, this is easy. Easy fix. That was the easiest fix. Did you like the pants, dude? Yo, we got the stripers, buddy. Friggin', I got a fresh new restock from Temu. So I got some weird clothes, man. Had heard another company's passed on Spooky's next license because they couldn't lock down someone specific. Guessing Spooky figured it out. Yeah, man, I just can't talk about anything just yet, man. Not just yet, but soon. I'm looking like the Spooky Pinball Podcast over here. Tell you what, though, other companies, you want to send me some wall art, we'll feature it. You want to send me some banners, I'll put them up. He's gone, party. Fire. But that's fun. Yeah, Spooky had a podcast back in the day. That's wild. That's wild. So, Circus Voltaire. Oh, dude. Hopefully, I'm not getting. Let me check my messages, dude. I've got like 32 that have come in. I hope Brian Vincent's not super pissed at me. As someone whose life's work is art and graphic design, not dealing with AI, seeing these AI posts are still a missing letter gives me hope. How is it missing letters? Oh, maybe. Yo, talk about engagement. All right. So it's crazy. You know, you do like the social stuff, you know, and you're putting content out constantly and then like you're incrementally increasing. But then you put out you put out something inflammatory. It's like boom, here's 1,000 more subscribers. Like I'm almost at 3,000 on Facebook. I was at 1,200 like a week ago. It's like all of a sudden like 3,000 people are like, oh, this dude's talking crap. Let's jump in there. So what I'm doing is teasing the bear a little bit and like, you know, just have an AI blatantly make something like slightly inflammatory, like the clickbait thing. Because damn it, it works. There's a reason why clickbait exists. I'll also say because of AI, I've been using ChatGPT a lot, like since the summer. Like I was using it off and on, not just like for graphics, but just, you know, I started using it for other practical things like what's the best way across town at this time? Hey, I'm thinking about getting into this product. What are some things I should consider? And like it spits back like amazing stuff, you know, to the point that like now I'm asking it for career advice and it's giving it to me and it's working. And like I'm actually meeting goals a lot quicker than I would on my own, you know? I built the studio here and I had questions about, you know, framing, about sheetrock, whatever, just little things, you know, wiring. And it's just like spits back, like, here's exactly how you should do this. So kind of revolutionary here. And it's so much better than it was even 6 months or a year ago. And I know we're going to end up in a Terminator status where we got death bots roaming around, exterminating us all. But dang it, we're in kind of a cool time right now where like we can leverage AI to help us out, and it hasn't taken over our lives yet, but like it's going to. It's going to. And like just like everybody else that was like when I was a teenager, I had a pager, and you guys with your smartphones and your zombies, it's gonna be like that again, you know? And so I do know artists that work in the space and other spaces, and they're looking at AI not as like an enemy, but they're like, it's an inevitability. Let me see how I can leverage it. And I'll tell you, if you can learn how to leverage AI to make you more productive, I think that's when you're going to continue to have success going forward, because there's no way you're going to be able to put in a prompt and just get back. I say this now, but it's probably untrue, but like get back 100% of like what you would have gotten otherwise. But I think it's about taking those time heavy tasks and delegating those to free you up to do your creative part. And I think that's how it's going to help. And this will help not just like graphic artists, but whether you're coding things. I think, you know, doing code this way, because there's a lot of tedium that's in there, you know. And so if you can use AI to replace that tedium and let you work on more innovative, intellectually stimulating things, I think that's a win. I've got a career right now for the time being that's pretty, you know, mentally intensive. And then there's a ton of just busy work that, you know, it's like the worst part of your job, you know, like where you just have to, like, the part of my job I like is interacting with people, solving problems, collaborating, communicating. Like I love that, but I spend more of my time sitting alone with a computer, just, you know, trying to document things that some algorithm is going to read. So let me delegate those tasks that are time demanding and not really very fruitful, and I'll let AI do that to free me up to be more of my creative process. So that's how I leveraged it. And I think that's what's going to help me from being just replaced by AI. So if you're scared about getting replaced by AI, learn how to leverage it, man. Let's move forward with this. I was watching a documentary on the Wisconsin Dells today that's relevant. Okay. There was a tintype photographer in the 1800s that went to the Wisconsin Dells area. And this is the guy that did those famous old school photographs of the Dells canyons and things on the Wisconsin River. And then those photographs were bought by people all over the country that could never travel to that area, you know? And so he made his living selling these things. Like 75,000 prints a month were going out, and he had a whole business. And then 10 years later, people had their own personal cameras. They didn't have to buy his stuff. So he was then, but like the transportation had improved, and so more people were coming to the area. So then he changed to doing like photo sessions with people, and then selling them other souvenirs and selling them like tour packages and stuff. And he maintained successful by changing over time. And I think that's what you need to do. What you're doing is working right now. When it starts to not work, you just pivot and keep going. The buggy whip manufacturer transitioned into something else when nobody wanted buggy whips anymore, except for the home BDSM market. So there you go. Did Melvin send you the pics? Melvin doesn't talk to me, but I think he's hated me before he was an American Pinball. You want to hear a story? Here's what happened. I and my friend, who I won't name so he doesn't get in trouble, I was playing Alice's Adventures in Wonderland at Expo the year that it came out, right? They had huge lines. They had 3 machines, and I played it a couple of times. And so my friend was in line. I joined him. He wasn't like at the front of the line. I didn't like skip a ton of people, but like I walked up and we played a game together. And then I got like a cheap drain down the middle off a scoop or something. And I was just like, I was upset, and I was hyping it up a bit more than I needed to, just to be like, dang it. So I was like, this game sucks, right? Just boom. And then I turn over, and I think it was Melvin was standing there like watching us. And like, I just told the guy that's like responsible for this whole project, like, hey, your game sucks. Cause like I was playing badly and I drained, but it wasn't like, I hate this game. It was like anything else, you're playing with your friends and something unfair happens. And you're like, F this crap, man, flip the table, just kind of for fun. And then I'm like, oh, dude, this guy's going to hate me now for just me being me. I hate that. I hope accessories are available for CV. I'd like to get a set of scrolls for mine. You mean like the scrolls from the screen? I haven't seen any pictures. I would imagine for the back box, I imagine it's going to come with them. And then I'm also imagining a world where if you buy the cheap version, you could also purchase the topper if you want. 100% random productivity and use of AI. Thank you. Wasted the night. The light. Why do I keep saying night with you, dude? Used to be against it until it started saving me hours, days of work. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. So, right. If you're just using AI crap and going to the craft fair and trying to sell it, that's, nobody's really going to appreciate that. Right. But like me, like I don't have the graphic design part of it. Like I can have an image in my head of what I want. I can't put pen to paper and make it happen. That's not where my creativity is. But AI can do that for me. It can take my concept and make it a real thing. And then we can like fine tune it from there. And I think you're seeing even like layout artists and stuff kind of use this. Like, let's rough out this concept that I have in my brain, and then I'll do the fine details that only I can do. And so that's how you end up with the final whatever. So yeah, so I think that's helpful. Albert says, sucks when people get mad at you just for voicing your honest opinion. And I don't think this game sucks. I think the game's pretty. I think the game was just boring. And I didn't like, the scoop eject was so, and I was like, how come it does that, man? And he's like, well, it was going straight down the middle. And in my head, I'm thinking, if your scoop on your game that you designed is going straight down the middle, then you got a little bit more design time to do, buddy. Change the trajectory slightly. Throw a nut driver in there and wedge that thing 10 degrees. Take the scoop hood and just give it a little bit of a tweak with some lineman's pliers or something. So it's directed where it's supposed to be. Make sure the game's leveled left to right or something. Don't just like you turn the eject down, and then I complain that it felt like a low flow toilet, which is something I use as a metaphor, not a actual low flow toilet. Cause you're saving water. I get it. It still flushes, but like, it's not satisfying. You want to hit the toilet plunger and then like watch like hell evolve. It's like a reverse volcano into the ground. You don't want this like slow, okay. Like technically that worked, but it was very dish rag. I didn't like it, and that's what it felt like. A weak scoop, the saucer eject to start modes on Yukon Yeti does that. And I don't love it, because it's like, okay, I'm ready to start a mode, and the ball is just like, just kind of rolls back down. It's like, oh, what are we doing here? What are we doing? I do like that same exact shot on Sonic the Hedgehog, because it's got a stand-up target back there and an up post. So when you throw the ball up there at high velocity, hits the target, up post comes in, boom, that ball is locked. That ball can then be hit against that up post to function as like a captive ball. And then when it's ready to release, it releases and you get the same rollout. And I think that's better than just a saucer that's like, can we get rid of saucers? I mean, give me a scoop that ejects forcefully and does something. Don't have the scoop eject straight down the middle. Have it angle across the playfield, or have it shoot into a wire form or into a ramp, or have it, so I can aim it directly at my flipper. So it's like, all right, come back at me, but like saucers just take balls and just kind of limply put them back in. Part of the reason I don't like a lot of the multimorphic games is when you start a ball, you hit the button, you want that ball to rocket to the playfield, and it just slowly feeds out the top, like it's an automated hamster feeder or something. It's like, I want to start a game. I want the ball to rocket at me. I want to get into the kinetic action and then like gain control. I don't want to just be like spoon fed, like, like here's your porridge. Here's your porridge. There you go. Yeah. I don't know. T-Rex wants to hunt, right? Can we remember that? I said Raven is a shit game compared to someone that worked on the game while I was wearing a Raven shirt. Come on, man. We're allowed to have emotions here. This is pinball, okay? This is escape for a lot of us. There's plenty of stress in normal life, right? Nobody should be taking pinball seriously. And in fact, it's fun to take it to ridiculous extremes. As long as you realize that it's all just kind of for fun, that hyperbole, right? Saucers are worse than scoops, which are worse than ramps, worse than orbit. Well, I'm not going to argue with Orbital Albert that orbits are freaking fantastic, and I think all games should have them. And I think they should have them on spinners. I think a spinner belongs in the orbit, at least one side, because that's like the rippest of rippable shots in a game is like a nice orbit, So give me an orbit, or give me an orbit that feeds to a long wire form. I love that shot on the Bond. Not Bond 60th, but like the Bond Cornerstone, that left orbit through the spinner, right? And then it goes right to the wire form. I even hate when the up post comes up, and I hate the jetpack because I don't want to stop the ball up there. Just let it come back to me, man. I made that shot. Reward me with a safe in lane so I can set it up and try to rip it again, man. It's got the diamond spinner on it. It's my favorite part of that game. No other part of that game is really my favorite of anything, right? The whole reverse scoop area on the left under the flipper, stupid. I don't like the cross shot into the villain's henchman ramp. I don't think it's very satisfying. It is kind of fun to shoot up between the two ramps there to get to like that right orbit that feeds the simultaneous upper pop-uppers. I don't love that. So there's a lot of Bond I don't love, but I love that left orbit shot. Faster orbit to upper flipper shot, my fave. Okay, so like the repeatable upper ramp shot. I got it. Fall of the Empire has two. It does. Damn it. It doesn't have anything else, but it's got that. Man, imagine if there was like a huge Death Star up there that you could explode. How fun that would have been. Sucks when people get mad at you for just voicing your opinion. So I would imagine this is going to come with sculpted scroll backbox things. And then, is it going to have a mirrored back glass with that flipper mechanism that's in there? I need to jump on my Discord. I hope Brian Vincent's not super pissed at me. Oh, no. Oh, no. I gotta... I posted that image just for fun, and then I was going to talk about it. And I even put in my post that I think it's an okay price, And then I think Melvin found his way over there. Somebody jump on there in my defense, please, on that Facebook post, because I'm not gonna sit there and post right now on it. I wish you. Oh God. Now Brian Allen's mad at me. Come on, guys. Come on. Listen. Okay. If you're a pinball company and you're ready to launch a game, your focus should be on launching that game. And if you got some criticism, like hear it. Take what you can learn from it and just keep going, man. You gotta get your game out there, like damage control everything to like the nth degree, man. Come on, man. Come on. Oh my God. I got so many messages right now. And I don't want to deal with it. Oh no. I just messed up my OBS. Crap. Oh, well, we're going to go with it. Oh, there we go. I fixed it. Let's see. Okay. Is there a better spinner sound than Evil Dead Chainsaw? Yes. And Spooky's going to hate this, but when you're in the car mode on Pulp Fiction and you rip that spinner and like the sound and the shaking, I don't even know how to describe that sound, but it's phenomenal. It's great. Kong's biplane ramp might be currently my favorite shot. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I love that biplane ramp shot. Fast right upper flipper shots to a plastic ramp. Yeah. So like that's probably I guess it's the hardest shot on the game. Only because you can't trap up and hit it. You got to hit it with some velocity, or you have to hit it off a rebound. And then it is a steep ramp, so you do have to have a sufficiently powerful enough, accurate enough shot to make it through that entire wireform. But like every time you get that ramp, like satisfying, very satisfying. I love the layout of Kong. I love that curly Q to punchback target. That was cool. I like that it can divert its shots too to go into the bucket and Kong's crotch there. You couldn't really put anything else back there like playfield wise. So they put in a Kong animatronic that beats his chest and stuff. I think that's fine. I just, for me, I wish, Kong just had more of a thematic something to it. I've tried to put that banana company that I created into the game. Like that was fun. But eventually it just became like I'm just kind of playing this thing the same way every time. And maybe the code's much better now. I honestly haven't played Kong since I owned it, really. I played it a couple times on locations. The wireforms weren't powder-coated gold like mine were. So it was like, I don't want to play this silver ramped piece of crap. I want to play my gold edition, man. The golden banana edition of Kong was fantastic. And you can go play it in the Pacific Northwest at One Up Lounge, and sometimes it's in Spokane. Ask around, somebody will find it. Winchester Spinner. I haven't played enough Winchester to be able to commit that to memory, because I've only been able to play it at shows so far. But what I'm hearing is it may be time for Winchester here soon. And as like probably the number 2 Barrels of Fun fanboy in the world, I'm very enthusiastic about that. Will you make me a custom banana hammock topper for Kong? I'll make one for you, Albert. I'll make one for you. You pissed off Brian Allen, Defensive XBOF Brian, all within a few weeks. Are you the new Canada? I'm not trying to be, man. I'm just enthusiastic about pinball, right? And I made a graphic that I knew would incense, and then I put the comment up there that it's a fair price. Why are you getting mad at me for that? Oh no. Oh God. Listen, guys, just come on the live. Dude, I'm never gonna get invited anywhere again. I don't know, dude. I'm not intentionally trying to be a jerk. I'm just having some fun with it. I was in Canada's live, right? Melvin called in, disclosed the price, and then I ran with it for fun. We're not allowed to have fun in pinball. Is everybody too sensitive? You could be sensitive, but this is your launch time, man. You should, even if I'm like totally wrong and being an intentional ass, you should still like publicly come out and say like, these are the reasons why this is so cool, whatever. I feel like nobody really even knows me anyway. As I'm getting text 38 messages. Oh God, people are arguing. I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna stay out of it. Oh, look what a fine mess somebody created. I'm out of here. I got a story about that too, if you guys want to hear it. Just check out your Facebook post. What did I do? I posted one image, and then, so you do this, right? When you make a video where you're going to address a topic, you got to capture people. So you put it out there, and, whatever narrative is running in the community, like, is this Disney's worst ride ever? And then you do 20 minutes on what you really feel about it. And then at the end, you come to a conclusion like, okay, now to answer that question, is this the worst Disney ride ever? And then you come up with a conclusion like, no, because of this reasons, or yes, because of this reasons. Like, you justify it, So like, fuck, dude. I've talked to Brian Allen like once when I bought t-shirts from him at a show, and like a rolling bin for my daughter, because there was cartoon characters on it, and she doesn't know what a rolling bin is, but it was cool. I thought she'd have fun with it. It's the same price almost as Bon Jovi, and it comes with a topper, and it's full of sculpts. Come on. Come on. Come on. Also, I posted a question. Is this the most, and then I'm addressing it. And I did. Like at the start of this live, I addressed it. I put it in the Facebook post because I didn't want people to misconstrue it. Oh my God. Everybody relax. This happened with Bon Jovi. Like, I was hyped for Barrels' next game, right? I got in on Winchester. I'm like, yes. And now, of course, the next game's not going to perform like Winchester because people think it is going to, and they're all going to buy it thinking they can flip it. And if everybody buys a game to flip, nobody's going to want to buy the game because nobody wanted it to begin with, you know? So fine. And so I was like hyped. I can't wait to see what it is. Is it Big Trouble in Little China? Is it Eddie Murphy movie, Beverly Hills Cop? You know, like, oh my God, is it Rambo? Is it something cool? You know, and then it was Bon Jovi, and I'm like, and I saw the art, and I'm like, oh, I was so hyped to buy something I wanted to be like immediately enthralled with. And I felt that Barrels took that away from me for not living up to my own overblown expectations, right? But then, you know, I went to the Barrels event, and I went and played the game, and I played it once, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'll play that again. And I played it again. I'm like, damn it. Let me do it let's play it one more time. Third game, I'm like, damn it, this game's freaking fun and awesome, and I'm rocking along with the music. And when I'm playing the game, I'm not looking at the back glass. And I used ChatGPT, and I made a better back glass like instantly. And I'm like, I can refine this into something that's amazing. Like, you know, I don't mind the art actually on the cabinet of the machine, and the slider switches, the volume check channel switches that are on the apron that move with the game. That's amazing. I love that. They didn't have to do that, and they did. I want more of that. That's what I want to see. Like, if Stern started doing that kind of stuff, next level, right? You know, so, like, you got the moving slide. Like, I got those on my mixer right now. I don't know if I can move it without fucking stuff up. But, like, my mixer has those channels, and I use them. And, like, the game's got it. Like, that's super cool. So, like, that was cool. The layout was fun. The looping shot through the spinner, it's got a better loop than Sonic the Hedgehog does. The music I was actually getting into. The sound system is great. The Horizon decals that are on the side, front, back. The back glass, but we can change that. Like, all that coming together. Bigger speakers, great sound, speaker lights. Like, it was a whole vibe. And so I got on with Mad before word got out that, hey, Bon Jovi's actually pretty sweet. And I got kind of the front of the line with them, you know, because it wasn't like an immediate takeoff success. So, like, I was totally wrong on Jovi. And then, yeah, and it pissed off Barrels of Fun that it wasn't like coming out there like immediately like, guys, this is great. But I'm going to give you my honest opinion, right? I was hyped for The Last Starfighter, some kind of 80s movie. I just wanted to like get in there, 80s movie, 700 games, like, let's go. I got one of the first ones, rah, let's have fun all year. And then like, I was disappointed because it wasn't that. And then I played it and I'm like, okay, I get it now. And they were like mad at me. And it's like, look, I'm going to give you my real opinion. I'm not going to see something. I'm like, that's not very good, but I don't want the company to be mad at me. So, and like, they're not paying me. Like, if you want me to hype you no matter what, like, I have a price, you can pay it. And then, you know, I'll work for your marketing, you know. I don't know what that price is. It's probably more than you'd be willing to spend, you know, but as someone who's got to shell out cash for these things, and I'm paying full price. I'm not getting a free Bon Jovi. You know, I'm not getting a discount. I don't get a discount on Barrels of Fun games. So like, I'm in on it. I think we're good now. We've been texting it. But anyway, my point was, I think they wasted energy like combating me initially that should have just been spent just showing off the game. You know, this is your window, man. Who cares? Who cares who posted images 2 hours before the launch on a Patreon with 100 subscribers? You know, and it's not like I stole those images and put them out. Like, the images were out, you know, and I'm looking and I saw something and I said to my crew that supports the show, that pays to be here, I said, hey, I found this floating around. Look at it, you know, showing it off. And then like, mad at me. Like, don't get mad at me for that. It was out there, you know. If it's out there, I'm going to show it. You know, if I'm under a non-disclosure agreement and you show me something I'm not supposed to say something, I won't say nothing about it to nobody. Who saw nothing? No one saw nothing. But if it's out there, right? You know, and it's not like I'm mad that I wasn't brought in early. Like I told David, like, don't bring me in early. Bring me in, you know, once you launch, you know, send me a media kit and then say, hey, if you want to arrange a private viewing and you can be in the area, let us know. I'll fly down there, you know, take an hour of your time and we'll get some lunch and then I'll play the game. You know, that's what I want to do. Because, you know, Kaneda made a great point today about NDAs, right? you get all the information under NDA and you can't say anything about it until the game releases. Well, guess what? I'm not under NDA for, let's say, Circus Voltaire. And when the game releases, I can talk about it just like somebody with an NDA can now talk about it, right? The only benefit you get is like you got the fun of going in there early, which is super cool. I get that. But then you were able to curate whatever, content you're going to put out like right away. Like, I have to then go and spend an hour making it and then it out. But like 2 hours after launch, it's all out there anyway, right? So I don't know. Let's get caught back up. And it's not Bon Jovi, so win. I am gung-ho for Fallout. I wasn't expecting to go for a CV. I wasn't expecting either. But I have no room or money. Also, I'm not a limited money guy. The post clearly says AI content. What idiots for getting all sensitive. John, thank you for being the voice of reason. Thank you for being the voice of reason. Listen, I get made fun of constantly in all aspects of everything I do. And, you got to accept it with grace, right? You got to forgive your detractors because otherwise you're carrying that on you, and it weighs you down, man. The fallacy of empathy is that you have a limit. You can't go around carrying everybody else's emotional baggage, right? You can't control the things you don't have control over. What you do have control over is how you approach them, right? So this stuff's going to come in. And the more you're trying to do something or the more successful you are at something, intentional or otherwise, the more you're going to see that, people coming at you with like arrows or stuff or like, why you fatting in a tank top, kind of crap. I get it. Totally doesn't bother me because I let that stuff go. Because why do I got to carry somebody else's emotional problems? No, I used to say that I would project my own shortcomings onto other people and then let them deal with it. Yeah. So, and what I was getting at unintentionally was that it's good to unload yourself from the emotional burden that people try to bring these gifts to you. And I think that's probably this whole body thetan thing that Tom Cruise is always yapping on about and that Dianetics is about. So I think we all owe Scientology a bit of a debt of gratitude. Hashtag legal disclaimer. I'm not affiliated with them at all. Please don't come after me. All right, let's get caught up on comments. I made up my mind with one game on Bon Jovi. It shoots so well. Ozzy, I was standing right next to you, brother. It was me and you, John Tomberlin, Dirty Pool. Like, we're playing the game, and I was already out on the game, and I was already getting arrows for, like, not just jumping in and just, putting Bon Jovi in my mouth. And then I was like, you know what? Playing this game, it's actually good. So it would have been so much better to just keep putting content out about the game. And here's where the game's going to be. If you want to come play it, this is where you can go. And I think that would have been a more successful way to handle that, or whatever. Okay, what else we got? It was a big one. Oh, dude, Michael Focus is one of my favorite people. Dude, getting ravioli with that guy is like one of the greatest things you can do in New England. All right. I mean, it's the most expensive remake. No, this guy gets it. This guy gets it. And that's part of it. Like, they can't even say I'm wrong. Like, most expensive remake ever. Like, I think it is. I think 12,000 was where Medieval Madness was. And I think 12.6 is more than 12,000. I mean, I wasn't a math major, but I almost got a math minor. Right? Brian Allen is always mad. Okay. Melvin made a terrible game analysis. Watch out, Michael Focus. They're going to be coming for you. Not that you'll care because you're a much more stalwart person. I don't know why they'd waste their energy bitching in your Facebook post, but that's them. Michael Focus here. I got to get this guy on my podcast. I can listen to him all day, man. He just spits reason. Like, just talking to this guy, it's like he's like the most rational uncle. If you're not sure what to do, you're conflicted about something, he'll just be like, I'll tell you what we're going to do. I can't do Michael Focus, but I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to blah, 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 blah. And it's like the most amazing advice you've ever gotten. What a freaking guy. Is it true you bought a Bon Jovi to say sorry to David for the leaks? Partially. No, it would take a lot for me to spend that money on a game I don't want. Like, I legitimately wanted this game after I played it. And after I figured out how I could fix the backlash, because I think that's a tragedy. And I don't think that David is making an intentionally bad backlash just to sell a $300 one later. I think that would do much more harm to your brand than picking up like the $125 of margin you would get for that. But it makes it hard to not think that when it's like, but I don't know. We'll never know because we weren't in on the licensing agreements. He might have had an amazing Johnny Crap backlash like Dune, but Jovi, like the one that we wanted. And the licensor said, don't do that. We want this one. And your hands are tied at that point. They could have signed off on the best Johnny Crap artwork backlash that we'd ever seen. And we know this guy can produce quality stuff. We saw his Dune stuff. But they may have said, even though we approved that, we changed our minds. Don't do that one or we will be mad at you. Do this one. Do it in this style. And then you're stuck. That's what you have to do. And then you can't come out and badmouth the licensor and say, guys, don't get mad at me. This is what the licensor wanted, right? What was the part of Rush that everybody complained about of Michael Bernard's Rush game, right? The cartoon comic characters of the band that didn't fit any of the other thing that was aesthetic that was going on, right? That wasn't his idea. That was the licensor coming back and saying, this is what we want right there. Do that. And you either do that or you don't do the project. So, and then everybody hated it, right? And then he can't come out and say, the band wanted that or the licensor wanted this, because that'll sour the relationships. You just have to eat it. You just have to be like, all right, yeah. The backlash sucks. Well, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to eat these bad comments. He's probably stuck. I'm not stuck. I'm not under any agreement with the licensor of Bon Jovi. I can do whatever I want for my personal game. As long as I'm not selling their copyrighted material, I can produce something for personal use. And that's what I'm going to do. And if you want to do it, I can tell you how to go do it, but I ain't going to sell you a Bon Jovi backlash and break copyrights. But I'm going to have a cool one. I'm going to have one that's super freaking awesome. So I think he felt better after so David Van Ness should feel better about Bon Jovi because once I played it, I liked it and I told everybody that. All right. And I think that's what it needed all along. I think this would have been a good game to release at an event that people are at. And it led into Southern Fried Gaming Expo, not the biggest pinball show in the world. In fact, it's only half a pinball show, but it was great to get it out there, especially in front of Ozzy and John and the other Barrels Reserve members that made the trip down there. That was the way to do it. I don't necessarily think bringing me in early to talk good about it later would have been as genuine, right? Because I was bad mouthing this game based on my depression of what I wanted versus what I got, the reality, right? The anticipation. And then I played the game and I paid to travel there. Nobody flew me in, right? I paid to go to Atlanta. And I played the game. Barrels didn't buy my hotel room. Barrels didn't, I don't even know that I don't think they had food there either. Anyway, so when I played it and I liked it and then called Mad Pinball to pay full price to get the game, that's genuine. The game is actually really good because of that. If I would have gotten invited, NDA'd, and played Bon Jovi and shot content and did interviews and then came out and said, no, guys, it's really good, I would have looked like the most inauthentic person, right? So that's why I like the idea of game release. Let me come see it and let me give an honest opinion because, if your game is good, it's going to look good, right? That makes sense to me. Buy the alt backlash and put the original backlit frame and hang it in your game room. Fixed. Yeah, or put it in your closet and don't look at it. That's what I'm thinking. Get your Bon Jovi backlash insured, then accidentally drop it. Oh no. Hey, Monica. So what I don't like about this whole alternate backlash thing is the alternate backlashes so far have looked so much better than the real one. I would have rather have had that an option and let me just have it installed at the factory because I don't want, I took out my Labyrinth backlash to put in the other one, which I liked better. And then I've just got this David Bowie piece of glass in my closet. What am I going to do with that? I don't need it. You can't sell it because anybody that has a Labyrinth already has one. So maybe you could sell it to somebody as a piece of wall art, but what the hell am I going to do with a Bon Jovi in the closet? I don't want a closet full of Bon Jovis. I don't want a closet full of David Bowies. I don't want a closet full. The both Winchester backglasses are amazing. So I don't even think I'm going to buy the new one because I like the old one enough, but the new one's phenomenal. But if you were to give me the option to have it installed at the factory, I probably would just do that. So David, if you're listening, I would like it to be an option for the now the alternate back glass might still need approvals, and that's why we haven't seen it yet. But like, I would love to have the option and have it installed at the factory. Then or like, let me ship this. I don't want to pay money to ship the glass back to you. I don't know what to do with this glass. I don't want a bunch of extra glass. I buy Invisiglass and then I take standard glass and put it in the closet. I have so much glass in my closet. I need to just go out to a dumpster, break it, and throw it away because I'm never going to use it. Does anybody want Playfield glass? Rush, best pin ever made, arguably. Get your Bon Jovi back glass and accidentally drop it. Buy the alt back glass, put the original in a backlit frame. That's a good idea. That's true. Jovi might have said he wanted the one we got and we have no choice. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, we'll never know that because if that's the case, they're not going to say anything. You know, like the company can't come out and say, we know you hate this, but the licensor made us do it, you know, and it looks bad on the licensor. Like, nobody's going to do that. How mean do you have to be to get shit by another Ultraman? Spooky freaking Luke. Oh my God. I do have an Ultraman butter cabinet. I do. Spooky Luke, am I off base for just like posing the question, is Circus Voltaire the most expensive remake ever made when it is the most expensive remake? Is that me being a jerk? You see a website designed 20 years ago. Oh man, what was that like? Give a customer 3 designs, they'll always choose the ugliest version and you spend the least amount of time on, always. Yeah, I could see it. I'll buy a Jovi back glass. Fissy, come on, dude. I'm not going to get drugged down selling Bon Jovi bootleg merchandise. That'll get your hotel room if you come visit me in Halifax. All right, let's do it. Okay, good. Thank you for letting me know that I'm not completely freaking nuts and off base. How long have we been going? An hour. Jeez. You like these Sunday lives? I think we should make this a thing again. We got the studio now. I got the time. Sunday mornings, we'll hang out. We'll hang out Sunday mornings. Bon Jovi's already in the closet. Stop it, Albert. We don't shame here. We listen and we don't judge. All right. I was at a pinball / drag show yesterday, and it was phenomenal, and I had a great time. And those ladies out there were giving it their all. So there. Oh, Dutch pinball, guys. I don't know. All right. I've got to end the live stream and like wade back onto Facebook and try to get everybody to not be a baby and take a joke. Oh no. Oh no. God. Oh, let's show off the new graphic. Let's do that. Because of the rumors that are going on in the pinball world, I did make a new t-shirt graphic. This is coming soon. I've got 20 of them coming. When I get them, I'm going to drop it on Patreon and say, if you want one, send me $25. I'll send it to you. I need a t-shirt size. Damn it. If you're going to order something, okay, like, let me know where I'm sending it. Let me know what you want. And it's Venmo or PayPal. PayPal is at Don's Pinball Podcast. Easy as it could be. Venmo doesn't charge me a fee. It's at Donald-Garrison-4. And then, you know, whatever. If you want to throw a tip in there, fine. I keep my prices low. You know, if you think I'm undercharging and you want to help out, join the Patreon. Or, you know, just slide me some cash. Or if you just want me to e-bag, you know, maybe you don't want to join Patreon. Maybe you don't want a t-shirt. Maybe you just want to show some support. PayPal is at Don's Pinball Podcast. Totally easy. And Venmo is at Donald-Garrison-4. And I will see a surprise in there. All right. Thank you, Albert, for the freaking justification. My God, man. My God. Not as bad as Paramoting live stream. Right. That was fun. So, Totan. I don't know. Pedretti quality I'm concerned with because I've seen people with Predator and chipping play fields, and I would hate, all right, number one, to be in a situation where I've got a Predator and my play field is chipping. And then number two, I try to talk to somebody at the company about what the heck's going on, and nobody's getting back to me. And both of those things, I'm seeing posts that are happening. Okay, I know we heard the excuse that Pinball Brothers was out on vacation, which is like the worst excuse. But like now, I'm being asked to pay for Totan, and I'm seeing shipping playfields on Predator. I don't love that. No. So the Euro Pinball Corp is kind of this association between Pedretti and Pinball Brothers. Pedretti's got the factory in Milan. They're in northern Italy, fashion capital, foothill of the Alps, near the Lake Garda region, which is like Largo di Garda is like, if you're going to go to Italy, northern Italy, man, it's solid. I mean, Rome was fun too. All Italy's probably cool, but northern Italy, Milan is where their factory is. So that's where Pinball Brothers games are made and Pedretti games are made. Pinball Brothers, single guy, is more of a design studio that's in the middle of Sweden. It's in like right in the center of the country is where they're headquartered at. And they do design and they don't do the manufacturing. Now Pedretti does the manufacturing down there under the umbrella of Euro Pinball Corp. Facebook, Funhouse came out from Pedretti. Freaking Predator came out from Pedretti. ABBA came out from Pedretti. And so chipping playfields, I don't love that. So I got to wonder like what's going on quality wise at Pedretti. So before I'm in on a Totan, I'm worried about that. So I want to see some of these Totans and how they're holding up before I would jump in on something. And if Pinball Brothers were to release Fifth Element right now, which would be a fire theme, I would firmly 100% not buy it until I know how this is all shaking out. All right, that's just me. I honestly don't even think about those remakes. I played the new Totan and it felt off somehow. Silver Gun 360, homie of the show. Where did you play it at? The Predator thread on Pinside is a chaotic mess. Oh, I don't wade into Pinside. It's hard to read. I like Discord so much better because you can just jump in somewhere and like everybody's talking and it's like you walk into a room and all your homies are hanging out. You go to Pinside and it's like 2004 style where it's like, let me find the thread. Okay, let me read. Oh, I'm at the end of the page. Oh, there was only 2 posts on this page. Let me go back a page. And now I'm like reading in reverse order, and like jump forward and then reverse and then jump forward. And like, it was great in 2004. I loved that type of forum. I was on the Coaster forums, Theme Park Review, Coaster Buzz, West Coaster. Like I was all over it. Twisted Rails, NorCal Nonsense, NorCal Coasters, like all that business. American Coaster Enthusiasts, American Coaster Network, ACN, right? And then the Disney groups, right? I was in Usenet news groups back in the day. Alt Disney Disneyland was like my first jam. Man, look, that's sometime in the Wayback Machine. You can find my posts. But we're now. So we need a more of a community than just going on like posting something. It's like you're just doing like an email list or something. It's so outdated. So I don't go on to Pinside because it's just not conducive to like how I like to look at stuff. And I launched a whole Bass Pinball podcast, and I have not posted anything as the podcast on Pinside, which is kind of like what you would do. Like that's where people that are into pinball hang out. But I love the Discord. I think it's so much better. I don't know where I'm getting in on this, but I haven't wandered into Pinside to read that thread, but maybe it'll be interesting. California Extreme. Oh, that's where you played it. Okay, I get it. They had one of the 4 legendary ones there. Okay. Cool. So pretty game. All right. I knew it was going to be pretty, but it felt off. Yeah, that's worrisome. So I'm so excited that American Pinball is doing these Bally Williams remakes because they're going to bring games out faster because they already did like their Hunter Houdinis. They're doing Galactic Tank Forces. I don't know if anybody bought them. But like, I think they can execute games. And, the fact that they have a Bally Williams remake and they can make a pretty game, right? That actually comes out, that's better than CGC. Pretty game is going to be better than Pedretti. So like American Pinball absolutely has probably already positioned themselves as like the remake house for Bally Williams licenses and kind of like the best version of that game to come out, which thank God. I can't wait. God, I feel like I'm gonna have to go to HR now and talk to the HR department at a pinball company I don't even work for. And, I know people make joke, like, are you the new Canada? Because I'm like, like edgy. Like, what I'm trying to do is just be real. All right. If I have a real thought, I'm going to put that out there. If I'm wrong, I'm going to come back and we'll try to fix it and sort it out and clear it. I'm not trying to sensationalize something and then we'll take it back in a couple of weeks after it makes clicks and views. Not that that's a bad way to approach because it is engaging, for this kind of medium. But that's just not what like I'm doing. All right. So if I'm critical about something, it's because I have a critical thought in my head and I may not have all the information yet, but like, I'm going to talk about it just like you're allowed to talk about it. So I'm going to say that when I go into virtual HR here. I don't know. I haven't looked at this email. Maybe this email is the media kit. And maybe it's like, don't share this yet. Oh God. I think I sold 4 more spooky shill signs. Oh my God. Yeah, it was a bad HR email. It was a bad HR email. Come on. Come on, people. You want to know what it said? He might have posted. I don't know if he posted that. Oh, he's posted on Patreon. I have to post an AI photo of Circus Voltaire. I don't have the art for Circus Voltaire. You haven't released it yet. What am I supposed to put out there? I don't think that's me being Canada, right? They're saying like, it's not good to post an AI photo of our new game. Well, I don't have no other photos exist of the new game. No other photos exist of it. Where am I supposed to get one? Am I supposed to replace it with like a hand-drawn sketch of what it? Come on, dude. Yeah, like I'm not allowed to have an opinion. I'm not the kineticist. I'm not the journalist of pinball. I was on my couch goofing off on Canada's live stream, and I want to post some crap on Facebook. All right, well, I guess I'm not getting invited to that media tour. Damn it. I like pinball, right? And I think that if you're being asked to spend 5 figures on a luxury device you don't need, you're allowed to be critical of it, right? And like, how are you going to be mad at me for posting an AI image of something that doesn't exist publicly? You'd be really upset if I posted a leak image of it. I can't win, I guess is what it is. Listen, if you want me to shill for you, you got to offer me something, right? If I had a free game coming, I'd disclose it and I'd probably shill the hell out of it, but I don't. And I'm not asking for that, but like, you guys tell me, man. I exist for you guys. What would you want? Would you want somebody that like, here, I got a game 80% off and I'm going to talk good about it and try to talk people into getting it and make like, 5-second influencer posts like, look at this. Or do you want me to just come on and like give my honest opinion as somebody that like buys, services, sells, and tries to design pinball machines? I'm not going to be able to check on Cuphead now. Damn it. I think in the end, I'm going to stay in my lane here. And, I'm going to tell my honest opinions. And as new information comes in, we're going to alter those opinions and I'm going to let you know what I'm thinking. But like, I'm not going to just, be frightened into shilling things I don't like just so I get invited for free hot dogs. Although I think I should just get invited for free hot dogs. I think that would be the thing. If I had a company, I would invite people for free hot dogs and I'd invite their criticism and I would take it and I would learn and grow from it. Damn it. No Cuphead. Well, it was a good run for Don's Pinball Podcast here. Oh gosh, what's our time? I need a Diet Coke, man. I gotta rest my voice. What's Jengiz doing? I bet Jengiz doesn't get this kind of hate. Jengiz just hangs out in hot tubs, eats shawarma, dates hotties from Denmark and probably other countries as well, and just kicks ass, man. I just want to do that. You're never gonna eat a Barrios Barbecue Special Dawn Edition. Damn it! And like I'm not even employed by anybody. I'm not employed by any pinball company. I went in and made Beetlejuice, and like they made an announcement, and they told like the line employees I was working next to, like, this guy is here because he wants to learn like what we do, and he's doing this for fun. And they're looking at this like this is like their job. That it's like, oh, I got to go to work. I got to sit here and do this all day. And they're like, this guy's doing this for fun for free. Like, what are you kidding me? Like, imagine if someone just showed up at your job and there's like making fried chicken. Like, I've always wanted to do this. This is so fun. You'd be like, what is wrong with you, sir? It turns out several things. Oh, well, at least I got friends here still. Oh my God. All right. I'm going to get a Diet Coke. I think I have messages from Pinball Company HRs that I have to go take care of. I have Facebook posts from angry, artists that I'm not dating them. Right. And then I think 5 more people ordered spooky shill signs So I got another one about to come off the printer. I'm gonna start another print. But these things are dope, man. These things are cool. Maybe we'll give one away on Patreon. Maybe that would be fun. Would somebody on Patreon like one of these? I have to get caught up, dude. Like, this is as big as I can print right now, and it's heavy. It's got a keyhole in the back, so you can just hang it on the wall. But dude, it's just funny because with all the talk about shills, you know, Spooky just owned it, and they're like, "Fine, here we'll send people T-shirts." I love that they can make and take a joke, and you know, if you design games like theirs, you've got to be able to take a joke, man. I mean, I played Ram Zombie the other day. It's like, is it Mr. Positive? Not about everything. You get him going, man. It's wild. I've seen that guy in person, and we got to do a public event somewhere with me and Jengas. Like, you got to meet this guy. I think before the year is out, everybody's gonna have one of these signs because I'm just gonna keep printing them. I'm gonna keep printing them. All right, guys. Be cool. We'll talk later. Thank you for joining me. We'll go out with some Denise music. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but this is fun. Everybody, calm down, please. Calm down. If you're launching a game, focus on launching your game. You know, attacking people for having opinions, I don't know that you're gonna get much from that. You know, just engage, man. You don't have to give me free stuff. You don't have to give me a media kit. You don't have to do anything. Do whatever you want. What the hell you listen to me for? Who cares? All right. I'm gonna go handle this. Or maybe I just won't respond. I'll talk to you later. It's right there. It's right there.